I'll keep this introduction, or sorry, this outro explanation to the end so you guys can enjoy the full combat, and then I'll throw some more. Be happy for a like if you enjoyed the video. Write down in the comments if you have any questions, if you want any personal guides, I can jump with you in Discord. And be happy if you guys subscribe. Ring that bell.
should try the SU-25 during the free thing.
Yeah, why?
It's not as complicated or advanced as the other U.S. aircraft, but I don't know, it's kind of fun just because it's like difficult to use.
Hmm.
It's
Might.
just different, you know. You don't have the. It's not like you're finding things with the targeting camera and then guiding them to a target. You're using like dumb rockets and shit, and you gotta like fly low and get shot at and stuff, and hit things with rockets. I don't know. I've been flying it a lot recently. It's like kind of like almost like a different experience from flying things like the Harrier.
Interesting. I guess I can give it a whirl.
Not the 25T that comes with the game. I'm talking about the actual SU-25A.
Oh, it's the A variant?
Yeah, it's part of the FC3 thing, so.
I see. Well, I might try it. Just after first of all, I still have a lot of things to learn in the F-18, but I don't know. If it all comes to like, uh, I just summarized it as a role, so if I'm gonna go in a bomber, I'm probably gonna try the A-10, but even then, I don't know,
I got
I
A10
have
too, I'm
mixed,
just saying.
yeah.
It's just kind of. I thought I'd throw it out there because you said you were running out of things to do in DCS, and it's kind of a different experience.
Like if they weren't all of them like really hard to learn, I'd learn all of them, but it's I don't know, after I tried the F-18, I'm like, this can probably do everything I want, and I enjoy flying it, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
it can't do anything that the F-18 can't do. It's just kind of almost like it's fun because it's difficult.
Yeah, I get that.
What's that?
Hmm?
Did you just hear a noise?
No, maybe I'm pressing my radio keys. Maybe it clicked for a second. I don't know.
It like sounded like some type of like bloom or something.
Could be I don't know how you heard that, but maybe it was my flares. Just I'm in the growling one because I want to just PvP and just went into their enemy fucking base almost, killed one F-16 that was heading straight towards me, and then free guys started chasing me back, and I evaded I think literally like 7 rockets right now, just going like 2 feet off the ground and zigzagging, and I'm out of shafts as well, so I'm just going cold. And my friends just came in and swooped in and killed them all, so that's
Nice.
cool. Yeah. Killed the F-16 head on, which I didn't think I'd be able to do, which is fucking awesome.
And what?
You know, F-18.
Good.
Still have a bazillion rockets left. Let's drop these and get the fuck out. I need to go rearm my shaft. Someone just slammed into the floor right in front of me where I was just landing on the runway. Aha! Sidewinder kill. Guess I'm waiting for the Apache most of all, to be honest. I want to play some more co-op because, like, even as much as like, yeah, I just started like going into these PvPs just to like master this kind of aspect, just getting down the combat with this thing and what's the best is against players. But overall, the gist of it, either a good campaign, like a server that has a campaign in it that actually, you know, you manage resources and you upgrade with your guns and slowly get to a level, I guess. But I don't know.
I'm waiting for the Hind.
Hmm.
Actually, I take that back. And probably the most, probably the next thing I'm excited about is the MiG-23.
Hmm. What's what's exciting about it?
It'll be the most.
I just don't know the
It'll be
plane, I
a.
guess.
Well, it's a Russian. It's the only. It'll be a Russian full fidelity module that isn't completely dated. It's not nearly as up to date as the U.S. ones, but it's like at least comparable. I guess not
Hmm.
comparable, but like it's like
Yeah, it's a modern equivalent of the
no,
F-18,
it
just kind of.
no. It's before the F-18. It was the last third generation aircraft, and but it's like I don't know. It's kind of like night and day between the MiG-21, which has pretty much no BVR capability. It's 100% like heat seekers, and even the radar missiles are pretty much only like 5 kilometers. 10. No, I think it's actually it's like less than that. It's like 2 to 5 kilometers or something. Um,
Hmm.
and the MiG-23 MLD is at least in like the like I think it's like 15 to 30 kilometer range. So at least you have like some chance of doing something
Hmm.
if you maneuver it well,
Hmm.
which is so I'm excited for that. So I keep trying to do the MiG-21 and it just doesn't. I don't know. It's just not really my thing. I'm not as much about dogfighting and stuff as I am about the like BVR tactics and stuff like that.
I see.
I'm also hoping that it makes them, because the primary armament will be semi-active radar homing missiles. I'm hoping that they forces them to redo the whole missile system so that the stupid what's it called? What is what am I trying to say?
I'm sorry, I'm applying myself, so I'm confused.
Yeah, I wasn't. Was reading something and forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, I'm hoping it'll force them to do something about the semi-active missiles because in game they're like complete garbage. IRL, they're not complete garbage.
Hmm. Oh no. I crashed into a mountain. Haha! I blind shot a 120 right in his face, didn't get a lock on, and fucking killed him. Haha! Yes! I'm getting better at this. I'm an idiot. I launched my M. Splash! F-14 Alpha! Damn! Alright, I'm getting it. I'm actually getting it. I got like 4 kills in one mountain death. Damn! I'm impressing myself. Wait a minute, is this guy still alive? What the fuck? Or was there 2? Can't be that he's still alive. Who the what? Oh, it's someone else. Interesting. No, he's dead. Another splash! F-16C. Damn! I got I got 5 kills so far. Whew. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. First of all, after literally like playing this game for 2, 3 months, tried PvP here and there. I got really rage quitted, and all those rockets that hit me straight on in the face with like 2, 3 seconds of RWR warning were getting to me. But I persisted. I continued jumping in. I tried different stuff. I continued playing with my settings. The only main things that you probably see it in the video as well, in the middle of playing this session, I switched my SA page, my situational awareness page, from the bottom, where I always need to look down, to the left. And of course I have my RWR on my HUD already, so I barely look to the third screen at the bottom in the F-18. So if you want to give that a try, I really recommend that. It's very helpful. It keeps the situational awareness a lot better because now you can see it in two views, the right with anti-air radar, the left with my SA page. I know it's opposite on the video, and in the middle, of course, the HUD itself. So you can look at all three of those at the same time and kind of coordinate your information, which is very useful. I also rebinded in my joystick. I rebinded a modifier. So if I press hold, if I hold the the first detent, the soft detent on my trigger, I can use my hat switches and other keys as a modifier. That's the first detent on my trigger as a modifier for some of the actions. Just for an example, if I hold the detent on my trigger, the first detent on my trigger, and I do hat up, it'll change the scale of the SA page. So that's my left MD button 8. And if I do hold first indent on the trigger and go down with my hat switch, it steps on the bottom left. That's button 19 on the left MDI. It used to be on the bottom, which is just the MSI or MDS. I don't remember how it's called, but the bottom screen, I move that to the left, and it's in the video as well. I think I'll keep that in, so it'll give you a understanding. And basically scale up, scale down. The main difference that I actually did right now and really commit to is flying low. You saw it probably in the video how low I do fly. I literally kissed the ground. I crashed into a mountain while not looking at the screen for like 2 seconds because I was trying to look at my radars at the same time, and I just slammed into a side of a mountain. So that's a little bit dangerous. But as long as you keep that radar, that your eye and the line of flight kind of secure, and you remember not to go into the mountain too much, and you just always aim your plane with your velocity vector, there's no ground interference. You can fly in a line, take a look at your screens for a second, really work with them out, and then look back up, make sure you're not going to collide into anything. I actually don't fly with my radar altimeter on at all. No beeps, no sounds. I also turn off AWACS completely because that just confuses the hell out of me. I know it calls out weird stuff. So my process is that I really try to think about the planes that are coming towards me or coming or going away from me. That's a very, very big identification. They can turn on a swivel, yeah, but most of them don't turn so fast. The second thing that I also wanted to point out, well, second to that point of choosing which plane to focus on, is once you do focus on someone, try to always think about him. He's aiming towards you, he's flying away, he's flanking, or he's doing like that. So try to visualize and understand where he's going to be next, and always keep that in mind, because when you do like come up over a mountain and you want to relock him, make sure that you have, when you are chasing one guy down and you lost him for a second, you know his general direction and directory. You can see it in the radar and also in the situational awareness page. You can see his velocity vector, where he's going himself. So keeping that in mind, where the plane is going to be and where you lost lock, could really help you. Because if he's flying, he's 40 nautical miles away and he's flying on your screen from right to left, you're gonna dive into a mountain or lose him for a second, but you can already take the initiative and fly towards where he's gonna be, just like a rocket. You can cut that flight time, not only save on fuel, but also catch him in the middle of that intersection point. So you're actually flying to where he's flying. Worst case scenario, if he U-turns, then that even makes the gap further. Second of all, he can lose an idea of where you are. If you're heading directly where to him, or he saw you for a brief second and you were heading towards him while he was flanking, he's like, oh, okay, that guy's there. But if you suddenly change your trajectory to where he's gonna be, then you're obviously going to turn left more than he expects. So he's going to turn left. He's going to face towards you, where the last time he saw you, and he's like, oh, that guy's not over there anymore. He's more to my right now, if you can imagine it. So it's a little bit of a play with movement as well. I also got some nice kills there with the visual element of the 120B. So I just saw a target 8 nautical miles away, pressed the trigger at his general direction, not even getting a lock. The missile did all the job for me. As long as you don't have friendlies, and I was most of the time in between, in the midst of enemy airspace, so I didn't have a lot of fear. And I also checked out the SA page a lot. Also, if you see a friendly, now that they have the TX Diag, TX designate, that you can see people locking onto people, you can forget about a target. If you see someone locking up onto someone, he's really far. The chances of them dying, or you getting the kill for that, is going to take you a lot longer, until those guys can dogfight forever, and until then they can even be merged. So it's not recommended, but I do actually keep 2 aim 7s with me just for that case. If I have a friendly or an enemy right next to each other, I can still hold the lock while they're focused on each other. I can just hold the lock and, crank right or left and continue on the engagement. So shoot a aim 7 in there without a loft. Obviously, you can use your cage or uncage button to unloft or loft the rocket, and hopefully not lose the lock and hurt a friendly in the middle. But unfortunately enough, up until now, I don't think I've ever used it. Like, I tried to, I never got a splash out of it, and no friendly fires as well. So just keep that in mind. The third thing that I like to add with the Sidewinder, the Heat Seeker missile, the AIM-9, fantastic rocket. I got like 2 kills with that in this match alone, and I was just using my helmet mounted display. If you press on your sensor select up and you press it long enough, like for more than a second, it goes for long range acquisition, which is beyond 10 nautical miles. But most of the times, if you are immersed in someone, that thing has 40 degrees angle to the right and to the left, and my nose wasn't even aiming towards the guy. I shot a rocket, the rocket went 40 degrees right and hit the guy as he was trying to get a lead on me. I was already kind of behind him, but it's definitely a very, very big advantage. You don't even need to get a physical lock. You only need to look with the camera to that guy, and once you hear the high sidewinder tone, that you saw it probably in the video, then, and basically once you do hear that sidewinder toner, and if you know that guy is in range, and you got a range with your head mounted display, because it does accommodate for the rocket wide capture area of heat sensors. So when you do have that sensor up, just make sure, of course, it's not a friendly that's flying in front of you. Just check your SA page or your radar for a second, then look back at your target, make sure you don't lose them. Shoot that rocket, fire and forget. You can get the hell out of there, or keep chasing if you're alone with him in the battle space. Staying low is the most key point moment. I also, in the beginning of this video, you'll probably see it, you probably saw it, I evaded like literally 7 rockets. Without halfway there, I also ran out of chaff. and all of them were kind of rocket guide. I don't think I'd let them get that close for IR, and it was mainly afterburning in the negative way. I went deep into enemy lines, got that first kill on that F-16, and then I immediately U-turned. I saw my SA page like three planes were closing in on me, and I just flew in between the trees and zigzagged and made sure that every time I heard the RWR beep up there, there's a missile incoming for me, I took it as a fresh rocket. So it kind of also plays in my movements. That I can also add, this is tip like number 45 already, I don't know, whatever. But when you hear that launch, if you know the distance of the plane behind you, that's fantastic. He's most likely around 10 nautical range if he's shooting RWR. And if you're going directly cold and you're flying with him, you should be in the same speed. So the time of that rocket to hit you is a little bit more than if you were flying face to face, obviously. So I saw it in a video before and never really put it, or I did. I tried to put it into practice. I guess sometimes I used it or not, but I used this in this evasion at the beginning a lot more because I was literally running away for my life. I wasn't even panicking because I had a good sense of an idea of where the rockets are coming from, when they will be shot, or sorry, when they will be reaching me. And the key point there that I did is wait 3-4 seconds on the first initial RWR missile incoming tone. When you know he launched the rocket is already en route to you, just left the rails, and you wait 3-4 seconds, 3 seconds about it, even 2 seconds, so the missile goes to your trajectory. And when it locks onto you or it goes directly to you, you crank to the right 30 degrees, 40 degrees, because you still want to be facing cold to him. You don't want to go 90 degrees to the right and give that rocket a little bit of extra closing space. You want to go, if the rocket is coming like this in a straight line towards you, you want to go like so. So the rocket has to accommodate for that. And if you want, after 2 seconds of doing that, you can do 2 seconds of going that, and that's going to literally, if you're going floor level like I was going, the rocket is going to lose a lot of momentum. And most likely, if you do that 2-3 times, the rocket won't even catch you and it'll die. And I think I evaded like 6 rockets in that first run there that you saw in the video. Chef, of course, flares. Whenever someone gets 5 nautical away from you, try to assume that he already launched an IR sensor at you if you don't hear a radar lock. So if you're firing a rocket, go ahead and start cranking out and start flaring occasionally. And also, why not? Go ahead and completely use your pedal key on the F-18 that basically increases your turn radius by taking off the G limiter from 7.5 I heard to 9.5. That's what I heard at least. So that gives you a little bit of more turning radius, especially when someone's that close and he's shooting already a IR sensor. 2, make sure that you flare 1, 2, 3, and you just crank or turn very sharply either into the floor, not to crash, but to evade and give it more ground tension where the rocket can barely spot you, or even behind a mountain, which is fantastic. And even after that, when you do a first turn, try to add another one, flare some more, and wait for the threat to be either too far, or if your rocket got a hit, that's fantastic. If he's on your ass, just afterburn and get the hell out of there. Or if you think that this guy is also going defensive, you can try repopping the corner and taking another swing, another rocket at him while your first rockets send him defensive. You can go ahead, evade that IR, and return back to him and re-engage. There's a lot of in between, but generally I tried flying high, 20 Angel, 30 Angel, and especially against a Phoenix. If you're not really gonna just dive to the deck and go directly cold, some of them even RWR lock on you for like 2-3 seconds, and it happened to me a lot. I was started diving, and immediately I was start diving and you turning around, the rocket already hit me, because those rockets, like I've been explaining and I've seen myself, they go like 5 Mach, and they track you silently. So as soon as the rocket is really high, it's going 50 angels and it's diving towards you at 5 Mach, sometimes maybe the RWR doesn't catch that in time, and it actually surprises the RWR only when it's really close. It alerts you, and that's a literally 2-3 seconds reaction time. It's not even enough to make a turn. So just keep that in mind. If you are going to go high, it's mainly for the element of increasing your range. And I'd also add another criteria that the guy that is in front of you is either going cranking, or if he's going cold on you, or he's low and he's going cold on you. So if you increase your range and shoot from above with afterburner, of course, climbing, because then you'll lose him completely. The F-18, you can see the closure distance. If you look at your HUD on the right side, you can see above the range that you have with the enemy in front of you, there's 1120, for example, V, which is your closer rate. If he's going straight towards you afterburning, that's going to be around 1,000 knots closer rate. I think it's a knots. I'm not 100% sure. And if he's going against you, it's going to be probably in the minus 800, minus his speed, minus yours, or plus yours, or anything like that when it comes to evaluating that. So that's a very good, useful tip and tool as well that I've learned to use a lot. Watch their closure rate to you. What I used to have in the F-14 is the TCS camera that actually when I lock onto someone, it'll actually show me the profile and the picture of that plane, so I'd know relatively where he's going. Now with the F-18, you have on your HUD when you lock onto someone on the circle, there's the velocity vector of the plane, so you know there's a small little arrow, literally an arrow with two line and two dashes, and that basically circles around that target on your HUD, and it tells you where the enemy direction that you're facing and locking onto right now. Even in a soft lock, even in a hard lock, it tells you what the direction of flight of that plane is. So it's always relative to you. Just keep that in mind. If you're going 90 degrees to the left and you're cranking him, it'll still show you the plane going directly towards you. It'll be on the 6 o'clock on that circle. So just keep that in mind. I use the fuel silo in the middle. After like 3-4 minutes of flight, especially if you're afterburning, you can go ahead and ditch that. Throw away my fuel canisters. It helps you with not only speed, and when you're going cold and you know you don't have any rockets or you don't want to re-engage, don't be afraid to just throw all your armaments away just to give you a little bit more extra speed. And it also helps you with not burning so much fuel, so you can afterburn some more when you're lightweighted, so you can accelerate faster and everything like that. Let me know if you have any other comments or any questions about the video. If you want to know anything, if you want some explanation on Discord, I don't mind that as well. It's just stuff literally that I played around with, and I just combined everything to a nice little package right now, and I guess it works. I got 5 kills. I got down once by a mountain. The most hard thing, I guess, is to just keep an eye on your surrounding using the SA page to make sure that nobody sneaks around you or there's nobody somewhere that's coming close to you without you noticing, and really trying to focus on one target at a time. Seeing what's the clearest sky area around that guy, seeing that if you are going, you need to keep in mind that people will see you back, that you're going to go towards that target, and more enemies will converge on that point. So you don't want a situation that you have someone very high and very low, and then you need to decide between them. So if you can avoid that, generally that's the best situation. But overall, staying low and staying fast is actually a very, very good tactic. So thank you very much for watching. I upload different games, and especially also I also enjoy DCS a lot. Be happy for a like, comments if you have any questions, and be happy if you guys subscribe. Ring that bell. I'll see you on the next adventure, and have a wonderful day, evening, night. Bye bye.